What's up? It's Mr. Negative with the Negative Podcast. We're at season 2, episode 3, and this is post the presidential elections. And as annoyed as I am, I'm not going to be a piss ass about it until he makes laws that affects my life. Then at that point, I'll be a piss ass. Might even be an extremist if that happens. But as of right now, I'm just annoyed. What I'm going to do today is I cleaned out my mailbox and all these pamphlets and flyers in there, and I just picked out a few random ones, and we're going to go over them because some of the quotes that are on there seem a little But before we get into that, I'm not sure. Like, people say that, it's possible that it goes to court, gets changed and all that stuff. I'm not going to rely on that. I'm just going to go ahead and say y'all won, get it over with. Again, I just hope that the changes that are made don't greatly affect me. Meaning if he does get that law change where the immigrants stay here. Listen, and about this whole Dreamers thing or the immigrants from Mexico and all that, listen, I don't understand why y'all don't get this about that. Those immigrants coming over here illegally, not people who came legally, solely illegal people. That's people who broke the law. Just because they have passion to be here does not mean breaking the law is by then okay. Come on. It's so stupid. I don't understand. What are you fighting? He wants to get rid of criminals. People like him want to get rid of criminals. That's not people who were here in the right way. But when it comes down to the kids, and I don't understand this, but as far as I understand, if you have kids, if you come over here illegally and you have kids, or if you come over here on a temporary and you have kids or something like that, your kids are by default citizens, which is fucking stupid. Why is that a law? It's so dumb. Anyway, so when it comes down to them having to leave, but their kids being able to stay, and this idea of, he wants to separate kids from their parents. Listen, I'm not sure how true that is, but it's like, with me, it's like, does it have to be that way? I'm sure they could take them with them, but it's like y'all don't want that option. Y'all just want the just let them all stay. No, fuck that. No, get rid of all of them. If they want to keep their families, to give them a choice. They want to keep them together, all right, fine. But you all gonna have to go then. How do you let somebody play you like that? I'm gonna sneak over here, take advantage of your law, and you gotta keep me. What type of goofy shit is that? Do you realize how stupid that is? You gotta be a moron to allow somebody to do that to you. But whatever. And the other thing that sticks to me is the gun control. I don't know if you've all ever have read this or if you went on his website and looked, but I watched a YouTube video and he pointed out everything that was in it, and it's pretty like ridiculous. And like, for one, one I can think of off the top of my head is he wants to have it where if you need a background check for a particular weapon, and if they don't get back within 3 days, you're automatically approved. He wants to change that from 3 to 10, which is, so you want more time to do your job with a law that you want to be there. So you want more people to have to go through things for you. You want more of an ability to delay people was rightfully theirs. Okay. And I'm not going to try to remember anymore. Let's get over with. But, so I'm going to get to these pamphlets or these flyers. I'm not sure how many. I got to give it to them. Republicans, y'all, I wasn't getting no mail from y'all. All the shit I got was for Democrats. Straight up. They really bust their ass with these advertisement flyers. Y'all didn't do this shit. Y'all fucked up. Y'all really was not on y'all shit. And they were. But apparently there was 96 reasons prior to this, because this is called Reason 97. And it says, quote, because black workers are twice as likely to have lost their jobs during the Trump recession, unquote. Then under that it has, Trump has failed black America and we deserve better. I'm not sure how the hell, what job is black specific? Explain that to me. Explain to me what job is black specific to where this corona stuff was able to just eliminate your jobs more likely than a non-black job. Explain that to me. I don't understand that. I almost had to sneeze. All right, but I'm trying to make sense of this. What all accounts for this? Are they counting the people who lost their jobs and the people who never got them back? Or which would include the people who voluntarily didn't go back to work. So I'm trying to figure out see, this is why I hate when people take blanket statements as they are and don't ask for anything else. Because the numbers probably are accurate, but it's not telling you why they're accurate. I don't stop just hearing shit and running with it. I just did a video for YouTube about this whole Kamala Harris thing. Y'all gotta stop allowing people to just straight up sell you some shit and get your vote. You gotta stop. Like they playing you and you just like, I don't care. Fa la 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 la. Dude, stop it. Stop being an idiot. You can't fall for shit like that and say, oh, we're these awesome people. It's like, no, you can't be for this dumb. Now read the front. It says, Dear Mr. Negative, we often say that this is the most monumental and consequential election of all times. But that description does not fully capture the stakes this year. Who do not take this step lightly, and we recognize our people's ability to make informed decisions. Why is this election so monumental above all others? Why? Explain to me why it is. Because as far as I'm concerned, why do we need Biden so much more over Trump? What has Trump done as president that means he needs to go? Like, what has he done? Nobody can tell me this. And this is really annoying me. This is why I keep using name calling, because you aren't telling me anything. You're just saying he needs to go because, Trump. I don't like his ways, his antics, his personality. I had I think he's my cousin. I don't know. He's a family member one way or another. But we've been going back and forth, not in a real harsh way, but back and forth this entire time. And I mentioned, like, bro, y'all gotta let this personality thing go. That's not why you pick a president. It's not. Again, I haven't voted until now, but I know you don't just pick somebody based on their personality. There's more to the job than being nice to you. And he goes with, it's not his personality. Well, what the fuck is it? What did he do that says he must be out of office? What did he do? None of you ever answer me. I asked another guy, he said he's racist, sexist, a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you described yourself. And I know, no, I wouldn't pick you president, but how the hell do you get off in saying someone should lose their job? Because they're what you call a piece of shit. I guess you know it when you see it. Fuck out of here. Well, I don't know if you really described yourself, but again, the Trump administration's failed response to the pandemic, aligned with white supremacist group, and assault on democracy will only grow worse before this election season is over, meaning more attacks on black people. Stop letting them sell you shit. Dude, I'm black. I know quite a few black people. Work with some black people. If any of them lost their jobs, a lot of them got them right back. It's still. And then this response to the pandemic. Dude, that's if you feel like, oh, we absolutely had to have this half-ass lockdown that everybody wants. And again, I know I said it last week, but I'm going to repeat again. The only reason you're okay with this is because your life was not negatively impacted by the lockdown. Because I only hear this goofy shit from those people. People who are definitely people who can work from home. Oh, you need to just go into a lockdown, lock everything down. This one guy that works here on the radio, he says that while also admitting throughout this entire process that, oh man, this transition from having to leave my home and go to work to being able to work from home and getting the same pay has been awesome. Yeah, I'm quite sure you're okay with the lockdown. I'm quite sure you are. You're nothing about your life is affected by this. Nothing. I'm sure you're okay with it. But this half-ass lockdown, it still allows the virus to spread, but then damages people in a lot of other areas. If you're going to go to a lockdown, you literally go into a full-fledged lockdown of nothing. Nobody goes anywhere. Don't just tell me I can't go to the bar, but I can go groceries. Like, you fucking serious? I can go to the grocery store, just wear a mask, and try to stay away from people in that long-ass Walmart line. But you can't go out. You can't go to the gym and be in a sauna with your mask on because, it's like, I asked her that shit earlier today. Like, why? How come I can get in the pool but not in the jacuzzi? Oh, the jacuzzi spreads it more. Really? In the boiling hot ass water? But it doesn't spread. It doesn't spread in the cold? No. Okay, well, when winter comes around, we can take the mask off then, right? Because that's the freezing fucking cold, right? Jeez. And then Biden, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to lock down the virus. How? I'm going to test more. Oh, and by the way, you same people who agree with all of this, aren't all of you celebrating close to each other, not social distancing, sharing cameras, passing the camera around, passing a whole bunch of other crap around? Some of you taking your mask off for long periods of time to yell and scream. How do you be this much of a hypocrite and then want to talk shit about somebody else because their personality rubs you the wrong way? I don't think I'll ever understand it. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever understand this. No one is coming to save us. So we're going to have to do what we can to save each other. Together we will harness our power and demand that the people who hold office actually start working for a future that works for everyone. This one doesn't. And when I say this one doesn't, I mean the ability to make your own decisions. The ability to take advantage of whatever it is you have and do better. You're right, the present kind of doesn't work for me. Because we still have all this program stuff that make people pay taxes just to give that money to other people because those people didn't do very well in life. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. So by moving forward, you mean not doing that? Or do you mean implementing more of those programs like socialized healthcare? Meaning I pay for something I don't want. Regardless of how much I use it, it's got to pay the same amount. And then this person who uses it 80,000 times more than me gets to benefit from it more than me. Is what? Yeah, I don't. If that's the moving forward, I don't want that future. I don't. And if you can say fuck me after taking something from me, we really got a problem on our hands at that point. Because that tells me just how much you are just out for you. This idea, people like this always want to tell you, hey, we're out for everyone. No, you're not. You can't tell me to take, you want to take something from me, whether I like it or not, and then we're in this together. No, you're not. We're not. We're not a team, if that's what you're telling me. All I want you to do is leave me alone. Don't tell me that you care about everyone, but yet fuck me in the process. No one can know how you vote, but whether or not you vote is a matter of public record. Make sure the public record shows you're on the right side of history, fighting for our communities, our families, and our future. Black people, I need y'all to understand something. And I tell women this when they come in men's panels all the time. When you ask somebody for something, especially when you want it for free, you got to realize how much power you're giving them over you. So every time we want to talk about election officials and all that, and I didn't agree with that Ice Cube thing. I don't even know what was in it. I just know Ice Cube out of his own mouth said they should give to us. Completely disagree. Stop asking them for shit. Stop it. If anything, ask that they don't take anything from you, and then if black people are really a community, which we're fucking not. I hate the fact that we really try to sell ourselves this shit. But if we're really a community, we will, as long as they didn't come taking shit from us, taxes, we'd be able to we would have been out of this shit we're in now, right? We would have been out of what we call the bottom by now, right? But no, we need to keep asking them for shit, right? But we're so awesome. Where the fuck did I get that from? I don't talk like that. Oh, that's the end of that one. Let's move on here. Quote, I want them to understand our anger. I want them to be afraid, unquote. And they said this is Trump speaking about the Central Park 5 in his full-page ad in the New York Times in 1989. When the Central Park 5 were arrested, Trump took out a full-page ad in the New York Times to stir white fear and to call for them to put. I really think I should be wearing glasses. I can't read, people. And to call for them to be put to death before he even got the facts. He still refuses to admit that he was wrong years after these young black men were proven innocent. I don't understand. What exactly happened? Black men are smarter than Trump thinks we are. Take a closer look at some of the things Trump says when he's trying to get our votes. Trump says he's handling the COVID-19 pandemic well. Again, I personally think that all he should have to do is give us the information and we make our voluntary decisions. So, by my standard, he kind of is. Trump says the economy is working great for all black workers. Again, unless he's saying secretly, hey y'all, don't be hiring these black dudes. Don't do that shit. Then I kind of think he is. But on the pandemic side, these are supposed to be separate, my bad. It says, no, he's not. 1 in 1,020 black Americans have died since March. U.S. testing has been far from incredible, and that blood is on his hands. Because so many of us work in essential industries like nursing, grocery stores, and mass transit, we are hospitalized 4.7 times more than white people are and are 2.1 times more likely to die. Many of us know at least one person in our family that we have lost the virus. We have lost to the virus. Okay, so to my earlier questions, what work industries were black? I think I said black specific. I think I should have said black concentrated. And apparently those are, again, nursing, grocery stores, and mass transit. I don't have the numbers, so I don't know if I can debunk that. Well, I can't because I don't have the numbers. But if this is essential industries and they're apparently dominated by black people, what the fuck policy was he supposed to put in place? Send your ass home? Was that not your governor or your mayors or any of that? And again, I don't think that should have happened. But was he supposed to do that? Y'all really want him to put you out of work and send you another check? Dude, I gotta say again, like I said in my YouTube video, this is getting real sad here. You want to be sent home and then given more money, which by the way is really pissing me off. Everywhere I deliver to is hiring, but yet we still have Michigan, the government Whitmer, who wants to extend more money to unemployment to people. It's like, dude, Amazon will hire your baby. And you want you want this bullshit? Dude, the job is there. Shut up. Go to work. Oh, but I might die. Go to work. The fuck? I might not die driving my fucking truck. Get out of here. Then on the black worker side, where he says working great, it says, wrong again. We're still struggling. Too many black workers out of work. Even with a historic low unemployment rate of 6.1% before the pandemic, black workers are twice as likely to be unemployed as white workers. If you have some college or higher education, you're still more likely to be unemployed than the average white worker. As of June 2020, black unemployment was an unacceptable 16.8%. I don't know where exactly they're getting that from, if they're including people in prison, blah, 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 whatever. But again, I have to ask you, they saying Trump thinks you're dumb? Dude, they think you're dumb. Because somehow, again, unless he's secretly telling them this, everyone across the country, hey, we're giving all the jobs to anybody but black people. Because again, if you can even get a job even though you have a degree, if that's racism, wouldn't that be individually on the employers themselves and not the president? Or do you want him to pass an act to say, hey, if a black guy sits in front of you for an interview and you don't hire him, that's a penalty for you? Yeah, no. Again, people, I've never had a problem as a black guy, a lazy black guy at that, getting employed somewhere and also working my way up to something there. Maybe not like, obviously, general manager, not like that, but like, hey, we have this position open. It pays more than that $8 you're making. You want it? I really like you. I want to hire you in. Like, if you can't get a job, you don't think that might be your fault? And I hate to be this person because this person always annoyed me before I got into politics. I know a guy who spent a certain amount of time in jail, like 2.5 decades to say, type of time. He got out and he tried to get employed as hard as he possibly fucking could. And guess what? He eventually got employed, but I think it was like not even a year. So it's like, if you don't have a job, that's a huge part on you. And I'm not going to say where you're located is never an issue, how jobs rotate. But again, in large part, that is your fault. Fuck you want the president to do? Literally walk the job to your door? I have an easier time seeing jobs now than when Barack was president. What are you talking about? And I said seeing jobs, not getting employed. Black Men Build is a collection of thousands of black men coming together to defend and uplift our communities. I'm tired of seeing shit like this. The fuck do y'all uplift? Black men, I have to ask you this question because I'm getting real sick of this. As I just said in my video, when it comes time, they will sell you out. Your women, when it comes time, they will sell you out if it's beneficial. Why do y'all keep doing this? Let's build. Why? Most black men don't have, well, I think it's like half black men don't have kids. A huge portion of them. I really believe that is a mixture of don't want to and can't. And for the people, the ones who can't because they're not chosen, why are you participating in these? Let's make the black community great. Like, if it doesn't give a fuck about you, why are you giving to it? Why? It's really like these same people really believe that they can tell you that they don't want you, but at the same time says, hey, my baby daddy is an asshole. Fix my problem. But let's get back on track. This flyer has a whole bunch of like cross outs in it because it's trying to, I'm pretty sure what it's trying to do is take something that was old and, it's taking the article apparently that Trump wrote and it's like fixing all of it. So I'm going to read it and then I want to tell you what it did and as far as editing it. The title is Bring Back the Death Penalty. Bring back our police. And then they crossed out the death penalty and they crossed out police. And then it has what? Where did they go? And then it has 4-page ad Trump put out in the New York Times. Super racist. All right. So wanting the death penalty is racist. Unless you can tell me where he said he only wanted it for like non-whites. Can't really say that wanting the death penalty is racist. Now, I'm not somebody who is for nor against the death penalty. I really don't give a fuck. Like, seriously. And if you want to make it personal, dude, I don't know which one I'd rather have. In jail with a bunch of dudes who want to fuck me or die. Like, I really don't know which one is worse. I don't know. But let's read that. Let's read that article, right? I've never seen this before, so maybe it incriminates Trump to a degree. I don't know. But bear with me, it's quite long. What has happened to our city over the past 10 years? What has happened to law and order? To the neighborhood cop we all trusted and safeguard our homes and families? The cop who had the power under the law to help us in times of danger. Keep us safe from those who will prey on innocent lives to fulfill some distorted inner need. What has happened to the respect for authority, the fear of retribution by the courts, society, and the police for those who break the law, who wantonly trespass on the rights of others? What has happened is the complete breakdown of life as we knew it. Many New York families, white, black, Hispanic, and Asian, have had to give up the pleasure of a leisure stroll in the park at dusk. The Saturday visit to the playground with their families, the bike ride at dawn, or just sitting on their stoops, giving them up as hostages to a world ruled by the law of the streets, as roving bands of wild criminals roam our neighborhoods, dispensing their own vicious brand of twisted hatred on whomever they encounter. At what point did we cross the line from the fine and noble pursuit of genuine civil liberties to the reckless and dangerous permissive atmosphere which allows criminals of every age to beat and rape a helpless woman and then laugh at her family's anguish? And why do they laugh? They laugh because they know that soon, very soon, they will be returned to the streets to rape and maim and kill once again, and yet face no great personal risk for themselves. Mayor Koch has stated that hate and rancor should be removed from our hearts. I do not think so. I want to hate these muggers and murderers. They should be forced to suffer, and when they kill, they should be executed for their crimes. They must serve as examples so that others will think long and hard before committing a crime or an act of violence. Yes, Mayor Koch, I want to hate these murderers, and I always will. I am not looking to psychoanalyze or understand them. I am looking to punish them. If the punishment is strong, the attacks on the innocent people will stop. I recently watched a newscast trying to explain the, quote, anger in these young men, unquote. I no longer want to understand their anger. And this is highlighted. I want them to understand our anger. I want them to be afraid. That's where the highlight ends. And then that's where they pointed at and said, wow. How can our great society tolerate the continued brutalization of its citizens by crazed misfits? Criminals must be told that their civil liberties end when an attack on our safety begins. When I was young, I sat in a diner with my father and witnessed two young bullies cursing and threatening a very frightened waitress. Two cops rushed in, lifted up the thugs, and threw them out the door, warning them never to cause trouble again. I missed the feeling of security New York's finest once gave to the citizens of this city. Let our politicians give back our police department's power to keep us safe. Once again, highlighted part. Unshackle them from the constant chant of police brutality, which every petty criminal hurls immediately at an officer who has just risked his life or her life to save another's. That's where the highlight ends. We must cease our continuous pandering to the criminal population of the city. Give New York back to the citizens who have earned the right to be New Yorkers. Send a message loud and clear to those who murder our citizens and terrorize New York. Bring back the death penalty and bring back our police. And then they have circled down there the signature of Donald J. Trump. I don't see anything wrong with this. I don't see anything racist about this. The only thing that could possibly be wrong with it is assuming that the death penalty will end or even lower crime. A lot of crime is committed by people who are desperate, and the rest are people who are not brought up in situations where they are really given much to live for. So the death penalty is like, nigga, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna die with a bullet to the head anyway. So you can probably say that his assumption that the death penalty would affect crime at all. But other than that, I don't see anything you could. Let's look at those highlighted parts. I want them to understand our anger. I want them to be afraid. What's wrong with that? He's saying he wants criminals to be afraid to commit crime. You have a problem with that? You have a problem with that quote? Really? I think there's something wrong with you if you got a problem with him saying he wants them to be afraid. But here's what the entire time I'm reading this, and with the context of this pamphlet or this flyer, what I think they're doing is every time that he refers to criminal, I think they're making this Donald Trump white racist guy, and a criminal black man. So every time they shout something to you or highlight something, they're telling you racist white guy says this about black guy, right? And honestly, let's say that that's true, right? Let's hand you that and say that it's true. If a racist white guy witnesses a crime by a black man, now remember, this is hypothetical. If a racist white guy witnesses a crime by a black guy and he says something I'm upset and I want him to be afraid for what might happen to him. Dude, that is, again, there's nothing wrong with that. He wants a criminal to be afraid for his freedom, afraid for his rights. Again, did you see here the examples he gave? He used rape, murder, pillage, all this stuff. He used very, very violent crimes. We're not talking about a dude who stole a bag of chips. He gave you the example he was talking about. Violent crimes. That's what he said. Yelling at a waitress, or I think, did he say threaten her? I hope I can find it. Yeah, he said cursing and threatening a very frightened waitress. Threatening. Now that's not a violent crime, but he's saying if you're going to I'm assuming he says these are two men. I'm assuming so. If you want to sound wrong for assuming so, that's fine. I'll accept that. But if they're threatening someone who is at work doing their job, now I don't know the context of the situation. Maybe he overblown it, or maybe he missed something. But in the context of what it sounds like, how he means it, that's not wrong nor racist. What's the problem? And then they highlighted the part where it says, unshackle them from the constant chant of police brutality, which is pretty much some shit that's going on today. And as I said before, anytime you take every situation and immediately make the person a victim when they very well could have did something wrong, you discredit your own movement. You discredit your own movement when you do that. So when you overuse something, I guess when you cry wolf, now your chant for police brutality means nothing now. Because now when people come to the scene, it's like, I did nothing wrong and this cop just beat me up because I was inhaling. It's like, niggas, shut up lying. No, you weren't. So again, that's that one. That's whatever. That's that shit. And again, all of these are from political, like the blue side. Republicans, y'all fucked this up. Y'all screwed up this election. You did. They whooped your ass this election. You want to blame Trump for something? Blame him for that. I totally agree. He didn't do his job when it came to this. What they're doing now, they advertise the shit out of themselves. This one starts with, it's time they had a president as focused on their future as you are. It's time. I wonder if they just realized they undercutted Barack Obama. Like literally 4 years ago, he had just been on the seat for 8 years. Did he not do that? Wouldn't a proper term be let's go back to when he was vice president and they did this? Maybe they did that because this is like a 7-pager, so maybe they do it in here. Strengthen commitment to justice. Under the Biden administration, the U.S. Justice Department will again use its authority to root out unconstitutional or unlawful policing. In addition, Biden will expand and use the power of the Justice Department to address systematic misconduct in police departments and prosecutors' offices. Create a $20 billion grant program to support criminal justice reform at the state and local levels. Reinvigorate community-oriented policing. But what does that mean? Somebody explain that to me. Our criminal justice system cannot be just unless we root out the racial, gender, and income-based disparities in the system. I guess $20 billion is going to fix that. Not sure how, but it's going to fix it. Page 3. Address healthcare disparities. No. How about you? Because it has a picture of 2 kids playing. How about you address healthcare disparities by, I don't know, not having kids you can afford so you can buy healthcare, so you can buy health insurance? How about that? Why does he have to do it? Why does he have to say, hey, Mr. Negative, we're going to raise your taxes because too many people can't, afford healthcare, so we're going to make other people help out. That's the right thing to do. We're just going to take it from y'all. No, that's actually a bad thing to do. And I want to sidetrack real quick because I remember I didn't speak on this, but this lady, when I was in this Facebook thread talking about healthcare and how I don't want universal healthcare, and she said, now just imagine, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say your daughter she's like 5 or some really young age, and she's on her deathbed, and then a genie comes in and says, hey, we can take care of her. It's going to cost you a little more in taxes and just a few dollars more. That's it. Just a few dollars more. And, it's going to be this way forever. And, I forgot. There's more before she gets to that. It says she's on her deathbed and you do have private insurance and you miraculously don't have a copay or some other stuff. It's just a perfect situation, but you're out of network and it's a $50,000 bill and you don't have the money. And this genie comes in and says, hey, we're going to do this, but we're going to convert to universal healthcare and you'll pay more out of taxes. What do you say then? You're going to let her die, or you're going to pay a few more dollars in taxes? Okay, see, this is why I call people like this terrorists. You're using the death of someone as a debate, as leverage. Think about this, people. You're using the death of someone as leverage, as if it's okay. Yes, when I'm desperate, I agree with you. When I'm desperate, I want to go, hey, yeah, sure. I was wrong because I'm desperate. Desperate in a situation that is how common? In newsflash, you're talking to a guy who, one reason who didn't have kids, one of the reasons is I know they're expensive. I like buying goofy shit with my money. One of the reasons I don't have children. Like, yo, again, I just want you to make your decision for you that doesn't affect me. Like, I'm doing the same thing. No, I don't want you to help me pay for my daughter's surgery when it might be out of market. I want to make sure that I can put my family in position, if I had one, in which, we did the thing right. We took care of it. Wow, I lost my train of thought right there. All right, back to the pamphlet. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the long-standing pervasive disparities that exist across our healthcare system due to unequal access to treatment. As President Biden will do everything in his power to eliminate healthcare disparities. Translation. As of right now, you, for the most part, have to take care of your healthcare yourself. Like you should. And because of that, irresponsible people end up in situations far more often than those who aren't irresponsible, or I guess it would just be the people who are responsible, can't pay for their situations. Meanwhile, we have Medicare and Medicaid, right? We're just going to ignore that. Let me tell you how terrible this is of an idea. All this does, programs like this, make people lazier and lazier and lazier. I come from the hood and the black community. Not the same, but I come from the hood and the black community. I can't tell you how the typical lifestyle or parenting is basically you tell your kid how to take advantage of the system. Parents are more likely to walk their kids through how to take advantage of the welfare system as opposed to actually take care of their own problems and be self-sufficient so they can actually make it through life, which is one of the reasons the black community is where it is. Because it's still relying on an outside source to hold it up. Newsflash, that outside source, no matter how much they tell you, and they've been telling you how long that they're going to help you do the same shit Biden is telling you, they're not going to help you prosper. They're not. Everybody here is competitive. Stop thinking we're a together community. We're called the United States, but we're not a United States. Look at how this pandemic, this election worked out. Everybody said, fuck you. Everybody. We're all each other's competition. You really think they're going to let you prosper while they do what? Exactly. Expand access to healthcare and lower costs by creating an affordable public healthcare option like Medicare that any American could buy into to get healthcare coverage. Providing a tax credit to help people pay for healthcare premiums. Eliminating the law that blocks Medicare from negotiating with drug companies to lower prescription drug prices. Let's go over these. Creating an affordable public healthcare option that any American could buy into to get healthcare coverage. Bro, that's private health. That's private health. What are you talking about? This how you know this is BS. Trying to tone it down a little bit. That's how you know this is BS. This is literally private health insurance, except you're going to pay the government. No, what this did was, it's going to take money from other people. And again, if you think that's okay of taking money from me and just, I want to benefit, dude, you got to understand why people get angry and are ready to go. Listen, on social media, I heard more people talking about, or was it YouTube? One way or another, I heard more people talking about another civil war. Again, you can't really think that people are going to keep going for you, taking shit from them, and they just do nothing. Y'all gotta stop. Get your shit together for once. Providing a tax credit to help people pay for healthcare premiums. What do you mean a tax credit? Like exempt you from taxes? I don't understand this. Is this a voucher that you can take to the doctor? Bro, again, you take it from me because your shit ain't together. Eliminating the law that blocks Medicare from negotiating with drug companies to lower prescription drug prices. Look, I'm not sure what that law is, but it sounds like it prevents people, or prevents the program, Medicare, from saying, look, we're kind of strapped on cash right now, and this person needs drugs, so you're just going to give it to them for this lower price. If that's what this really is, I have to ask you, who the fuck are you? I'm sick, you must treat me. No, I don't. I don't have to. You're not entitled to that. I know this sucks to hear, people, but you're not entitled to health care. You're not. You're not any more entitled to health care than an incel is to sex. You're not entitled to it. But they're damn sure. I'm talking out. I'm sorry. I'm speaking out of line because they're apparently going to make sure that you are entitled to that. Absolutely. This page is titled "Invest in Our Schools." Look, this past week I kept seeing on social media people bitching that the military budget is so high, but the school budget is so low. Look, why am I paying for your kid's school when I don't have kids? I don't even think there should be a school budget. I think all you people who got kids should have to pay for your kids' education. And then you people will stop having... If they stop giving y'all all this free shit, you stop having all these kids when you can't afford it. I'm really sick of this. I'm tired. I'm sick that I have to pay for your kid. I don't even know your kid. You're right. That budget shouldn't be like that, because the school budget shouldn't exist. And if you're going to twist my arm and say, well, the military shouldn't exist, fine. I'll play the game. Get rid of everything. Nobody gets taxed anything. Get rid of all of it. I'm cool with that. As president, Biden will ensure that no child's future is determined by their zip code, parents' income, race, or disability. Oh, I'm coming back to that. Biden will build an education system that starts with investing. Wow. It starts with investing in our children at birth and helps every student get some education beyond a high school diploma. Whether a certification, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, Biden will, and these are 3 bullet points here, provide high quality universal pre-kindergarten for all 3 and 4-year-olds. Eliminate the funding gap between white and non-white districts. Investing over $70 billion in HBCUs and minority serving institutes that will train our next generation of African American professionals. Let's go back to that title, shall we? Your child's future shouldn't be determined by the zip code or the parent's income, race, or disability. Let's go one by one. Zip code. If you don't make sure you get out of a bad zip code area and you have kids anyway, why should anybody else have to take care of that? Why? You did that to that kid. You are the shitty parent that had a baby in a bad zip code or babies. Why does everybody else have to take care of that? Why? That is insane that they're telling you that you're entitled to other people's stuff. I can't get over that. If you don't want a baby's education, your child's education, to be determined by the zip code, how about you move out of the fucking zip code? Parents' income. Again. Here's the problem with this. All this stuff is saying you have a right to have a kid, and that kid by default has a right to the quality of life of everybody else. Well, great then. Awesome. You know what? I want a trip to Cancun. Sponsor that right now. I want a trip to Paris. I want a trip a lot of places. And I don't even travel, but shit, if I can make you pay for it, you damn right I'll travel. So let's get it. Let's go. Sponsor. My quality of life should be no less than yours. So the fact that this person has this big ass house, why don't I have one? My quality of life shouldn't be determined by my income. I want a big ass house with a nice car. Give it to me. See how this is how you sound. My kid deserves the same quality of life as their kid. Oh, you mean the doctors? You're unemployed. Always have been. You've always been on Section 8, even as a kid. Decided to have a kid, still on Section 8. Your kid deserves the same quality of life as the people who went through med school. Really? You want to really? Fuck out of here. Race. I mean, whatever. I don't. How does he want to change that? What does race have to do with this? How does that even come up? That isn't. I don't. How is he going to change how your child experiences the world? You really think he can pass a law that make people treat different people of races better? And I'm getting real sick of this black people are victims mindset. I hear black people talking shit about Arabics and Chinese people all the time. All the time. I can't tell you how many times I heard somebody in my household refer to Ling Ling like with that name. Really? And then finally we have disability. Look, if you have no legs, you're likely going to have a different future than someone with legs. I mean, imagine Steph Curry with no arms. You really think he's going to be worth like $300 million right now? I mean, maybe if he invents some shit, but he definitely ain't making it in the ball. You understand this? And then that's just physical disability. What if they're retarded? How the fuck is he going to fix your retarded kid? And I'm not trying to be funny or a jerk, but how's he going to fix your retarded kid? Do you really see how he's just selling you anything and you're just like, I don't even care. My kid deserves it because my kid's special. And then he's going to somehow make sure everybody gets some sort of certification. Dude, when I was in school like 15 years ago, I took up VOTEC because VOTEC is a certification program. It's a trade school in high school program. You know how many people take advantage of it? Not many. And by I mean take advantage of it, I mean actually pay attention enough to get the certification and get jobs. Most black boys go to these schools and fuck off, just like they do at regular school. You can't guarantee shit, Biden. But your kid isn't successful because, President Trump, people like Trump don't give a fuck about him. That's why he's unsuccessful. It ain't you. It ain't the fact that you decided to have him where you had him. It ain't you. It's not your fault at all. Stupid, man. Provide high quality universal pre-kindergarten. What? How is this going to change anything? You can't, dude, people, can y'all take some pride in teaching your kid simple shit? What are they going to learn in preschool? What are they going to learn in pre-kindergarten? Explain that to me. That you can't teach them at home. You can't teach your kids their colors. You can't teach your kids like numbers and shit. You need to send them out to pre-kindergarten for this. You really need everybody but you to do this? Jesus, you are a trash parent if you need this. You are absolutely trash. But I've already suspected that. Eliminate the funding gap between white and non-white districts. Ooh. Y'all really think those, and this isn't white and non-white. No. But this really is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong if you got the stats to prove it. But what this is those wealthy places and non-wealthy places. So those whites who actually got money, you really think they're gonna support money coming from their district to the district somewhere else, and then their district suffering from this? You really think that's about to go down? All right. I want to see that. And then again, $70 billion to all the black schools. Look, man, I guess if he can buy you, I guess just keep saying he's gonna give you some money. That's all I've heard so far. Oh, that, and he hired a black woman. Awesome. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have a plan to make sure all of our children have a shot at the American dream. I mean,